Okay, one more person, Kranti. Is it Kranti who has joined? Okay,
Yes.
yeah. So actually, first let me introduce myself. I think so, guys. This is DevOps session, right?
Yes.
So actually, I was told that some other. Okay, Jia is also joining. Hi, Jia. So, guys, let me introduce myself first of all. This is Raman Sharma. I'm basically from Bangalore right now. I'm working from one of the uh, MNC in Bangalore, and I have around 18 years of experience in the teaching. I started my career as a uh, network engineer. Then I moved to development, where I did a lot of Linux level shell scripting, and then I moved to Python, Microsoft technology, .NET, and Java. Make my hand dirty in all the areas which is related to computer. From last couple of years, I'm working as a DevOps engineer, where my day-to-day activity is, to deal with the developers, to deal with the operations, to deal with the security people, to make the things automatic. So that's it from my side. So if you don't mind, if you can introduce yourself, Jia, can you start? Can I start with you?
Hi, I'm Jaya, and I have almost 8 years of experience in IT. And DevOps is new for me. I am planning to learn DevOps and
Good.
change my career stream.
Okay, Kiran.
Yep. Uh, hey, this is Kiran. So I have around 10 years of experience into this. I'm into DevOps.
Mhm.
A DevOps engineer. I work on Microsoft technologies like into TFS, VSTS, this. So
Okay, so you are
uh,
basically mostly on Microsoft DevOps engineer, right?
yes, Microsoft DevOps engineer. Like I work on TFS.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bitbucket and Bamboo also I used to handle, but thing is I wanted to learn more things like in Jenkins or Vagrant or Chef Puppet, these
So,
kind of things.
so you
So
basically use TeamCity for
I
the
don't.
you don't. So you use TFS,
Yes, TFS.
and is there any other automation tool you use?
With TFS, we use only the
Git.
build and release pipelines. Within TFS itself, you can use it.
Okay.
TFS has its own MS build and all those things, but the source control is Git or TFS version controls.
Okay.
Both will use.
Good. Good.
And then Bitbucket and Bamboo also, we have other tools too.
Mm-hmm.
Those things also I use.
And what about Linux? Are you aware of Linux?
I don't have much knowledge on Linux. I'm pretty much beginner.
Okay.
I don't have. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Kranti. Yeah. Kranti, you're on mute. Okay. And let's move to Venkatesh.
Yeah, hi, this is Venkatesh Rathod.
Yeah.
Actually, I do have 4 years of experience into system administration and production support. So basically, I have exposure towards some .NET production support, and
Mm-hmm.
so I'm just trying to learn DevOps at the same
Yeah.
time.
Very
So
good.
yeah, thank.
And
I basically from Bangalore.
yeah, yeah. Carry on.
Yeah, I'm from Bangalore.
You are from Bangalore. Great. Okay, so guys, so what I understood from all of you that I think Jay is also, I'm not sure about Kranti, that you are very new to Linux. So in this case, I will give my first lecture, and any one of you are aware of AWS
No, just
No.
started in learning.
learning. Okay, so what we will do, see, our complete this course is on the cloud. So what we will do, we will create a AWS account, which is free of cost for 1 year, but you need to be very careful by using some of the service that I will explain you which service you need to use. So we will do everything on the cloud. And secondly, what you need to do means what I will give means first today's lecture or probably tomorrow lecture, I will spend time on Linux and AWS, and from day after we will start uh, the real tools of the DevOps like GitHub or Ansible, Chef, and Docker, Maven, and Docker, Swarm, all these things. Okay, sounds good. All right. So first of all, let me start with the AWS. As these days everything is going to the cloud computing, whether it is AWS, whether it is Azure, Google Cloud, or some private clouds. So cloud computing is something like that. You pay for the service, and if you are not using that service, you are not paying for that. Say an example, I have a data center, and for data center I need a land, I need a office, I need resources, I need computers, I need the AC should be on, and if some of the system is not working, if their networking is not working, so whosoever the company owner, I'm talking about a small company, he has to always be in the tension. Oh, what happened to this system? I need to call some system engineer, or I need to deploy one system engineer. Such kind of things happens. So instead of that, what AWS is, okay, you migrate your data center to our AWS account. Then what will happen? You need not to purchase any office. You need not to worry about the system engineers. You need not to be worried about the networking. Everything will be taken care by us end to end. You need to pay for that. And now the person or the owner of that company is thinking, if I pay, I'm already paying to the my data center. I have a office and everything network. So they are saying it will be almost 1/10 or more than that cheaper than what you are spending now. Then owner is thinking, okay, I need not to hire system engineer, network engineer. I need not to purchase computers. Okay, this is kind of interesting. So he started doing that. Most of the companies now they are moving their data center to AWS or cloud computing. AWS is the most popular one, and I think around more than around 60% of the companies they are using AWS. Okay, so what you need to do first, you need to open an account in the AWS. For that, what you need to do, you need to go to the website aws.amazon.com. So I'm just putting it into the chat box. So you can go to this website. Okay. So on this website, this is the official website of AWS. So you need to first go to sign into the console. So why we are using AWS? Because we need to work on the Linux box, and There are multiple ways that you can use the Linux box. First thing is that you can have a virtual machine. So on that virtual machine, you can install Linux, CentOS, Ubuntu, or any distributor, and then connect it to your to your host machine. And from there, you can connect to the Linux box, write the command, install whatever you want to install. The other way is that you can have multiple operating system on your machine. You can have Windows operating system, you can have Linux operating system. So dual booting option is there, so you can select whatever the operating system you want to run. Third option is AWS, or the cloud computing, where you are giving the where you are opening an account into the AWS, and you are taking one machine which is Linux based. Any doubt, any question, anyone? So any one of you have the AWS account already?
No.
Okay. So you can directly go to that website, sign in, and here you need to click on the create new AWS account. I'm just showing you the steps that you can do offline, or if you want to do along with me, it is up to you, because here it will take some time to activate your account. Okay, I already have that account. So here what you need to do, you need to provide your email address, and that email address should not exist into the AWS. Then password. Okay, so password can be any password, means it is a valid one. Then confirm password should match with the password, and account name. So email address will be something, say an example in my case, if it is Raman Sharma 95 at gmail.com. Here account name I want to give Raman Sharma. So it is up to you, means if you want to give your email ID without at the rate gmail.com, you want to give only Raman Sharma 95, so you can give that, and then you need to click on the continue. After this, uh, basically there is one more page will come where it will ask about your credit card or debit card details. So credit card or debit card details is something is required or mandatory. The reason is because there will be a limit. If you cross that limit, then you need to pay. And once what happened, I means not deliberately, I by mistake I used one Redshift service of Amazon AWS, and it charged around $26 to me, and Indian currency it is somewhere 2000 rupees. So then I called to the support center and I told them that this is by mistake happened, and I was in an impression that it is a free account and I should not be get charged. So then they immediately waived off that amount. So you also, means in case if you are using an account and that gets charged up to less than $50, they can waived off. But you should be careful. You should not use the services which is not, say an example, I'm using Linux box. So Linux box should be start, stop, or terminate. There are three states. The Linux box which I'm starting, it should be, it can be start, it can be stop, means I don't want to use, I'm stopping that, and terminate means I'm removing that. So if you keep it start, it means the number of hours or minutes will be added. So 750 hours is free per month for the Linux box. But if you keep it, if you close your browser, but you did not stop the Linux instance, then it will keep running. So your number of hours will be, getting adding up. So these types of things you need to just take care that Otherwise you will get charged. So next page, you can see they will ask for the debit details, and it is something like that. If it is less than 10,000 Indian rupee, then they can automatically charge it. If you overuse it, or if you use the services which is not free of cost, then they will charge. But the trick I told you, you can call to the customer care center by excusing that. It's not deliberate, it's by mistake, and we were in an impression that it is free of cost, so they can waive off. It happened multiple time with me. Okay, so once your account get created, so after that there will be one more page. Third page will be, it will ask which type of account you want to create, and you need to select the basic and free account. Okay, you need to use the basic and free account. So then it will take around some 3-4 hours to activate your account, and it will validate your email ID, and you will get a call where you need to give the OTP number, that one time password, and then your account will be activated within 2 to 3 hours. They write that it will be activated within 24 hours, but most of the time within 3 to 4 hours it get activated. So this way you need to create a AWS account. Anyone has any doubt, any question? You have to choose the basic and free account. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Great.
Actually, I'm doing it right now, sir.
You are doing so. So your next page will be the credit card details, right?
Yeah.
So after that, you have to select the basic or free account, and
Okay.
you will be get charged 2 rupees Indian currency in the first transaction, but that will be refunded automatically.
Okay.
It will get refunded.
Okay.
Okay. So once you have the account, then you will get a page something like this, where the options is uh, enter the email account. So there will be 3 links. So here, if you see, uh, I'm click. So once you create the account and it get activated, you need to click on the sign into console. Okay. So um, you may get one more link which is say sign in with the root account. Okay, so you need to select that. Then you have to provide your email address. Okay, so in my case is this one, and your password, whichever the password you had given, and then click on the sign in. So in my case, the user ID which I have selected was Mukta IT. So in your case, whatever the user ID you have select, it will be mentioned here. So it basically nothing. It shows your account related information, your account, and if it is billing dashboard where you can see uh, how much bill is charged. So if I click on this billing dashboard, okay, so because it is in India, so it is showing in the Indian currency. It's 0 rupee, right? And here I am telling you about the support. So you need to click on the support if you want any support. As I had given the example, my bill charges was about 2000 rupees. So I will go there, click on the support center. Okay. So here I have created certain cases. So you can create a case in case you need a help, and this is your account number. So you need to just means they will ask about the account number, which is unique for every user. So you need to show this. You need to tell this account number, and after that you can create a case. So when I click on create case, so you have to select account and billing support, because technical support you cannot utilize it as a free account user. So if you can see, unavailable under basic support plan. So you can select service limit increase or billing. So once you select it, you have to select the case. So you can say billing, okay, and category, uh, something free tier. So if already you can see some questions, so you can use it. Otherwise, you can write your subject description, and after that, you want to have a call from them, then you need to select the phone. You need to provide your phone number. So once you provide your phone number, some customer cares executive will call you and you can explain your problem. Now let us go to the, so this is how you basically, if you have any if you need any support, you basically go to this particular page and get the support. Now let's come to our actual uh, actual work which we need to do as a DevOps engineer. So I want to create a Linux box which can be of, so Linux, let me explain you what is Linux. Some people call it Linux, some people call it Linux, so it is same thing. So Linux is an operating system. So operating system means which deals with the hardware, software, and everything. So say an example, today you are using Windows operating system. We call it operating system. So there is, this operating system has responsibility to talk to the hardware, talk to the software. You install MS Word application. You install your TFS. Then whether your operating system is supporting that or not, so it totally depends upon the hardware. So for example, you have 8 MB RAM and you want to install Microsoft MS Office and 2016. It is not possible because your software is dependent upon the hardware. It needs at least uh, 1 GB RAM. So hardware and software, in between there is an operating system. So Linux is also an operating system. Linux is very popular, or it is almost 60 to 70% companies they use as a server. As a server, they use Linux as a server. The reason is that it is very much similar to Unix. So once you learn the command of Linux, you can also work on Unix operating system. And some of the commands are very much similar to the Mac operating systems as well. So if you are using Mac, so the commands is very much similar to the Linux. Okay. So Linux is free of cost, first of all. Open source means you can see that source code of Linux. You can change it. Linus, who was the inventor of Linux operating system, in his college time. So I'm just giving little bit history about the Linux or Linux box. So he was working on one of the educational version of Unix, which is the Minix. And when he was working, he was not satisfied. He wanted to explore more. So what he did, there was a social website like today we have Twitter, Facebook, or some forums. At that time, Usenet was the social website for or community for the developers. So he uh, expressed his idea that I want to create a operating system which is similar to Unix operating system. Then a lot of developers or people come together and they suggested him. They had given their input to Linus, and he's basically Finland based. So he took that input and he created an operating system which is the Linux. This Linux operating system, see, for example, I am creating one operating system. It does not mean everyone start using that. So there is one authority which is called GNU. Uh, NU means not Unix, general not Unix. So he approached to that company and he said that I have made a operating system, and this operating system is very much similar to Unix but not Unix. So they checked his software and they approved it. Okay, now there is a license is required for any operating system. So there is one organization which is GPL, and that is General Public License. So they approved the freeware or open source operating systems or any softwares. Then he approached to that company and he told that this is already approved by GNU. Please, I need the license under your company. And GPL approved it. So once GPL approved, it means this operating system is free of cost and open source. Okay, so it is available. Now there are some companies, they saw that this Linux operating system is very useful. So they started to give their brand name. So they took the open source, they made some changes, and they are trying to sell it. Say an example, Red Hat. Say an example, Ubuntu. Say an example, SUSE, Fedora, okay, Debian, or lot of Linux distributors we call. These are the distributors. So these distributors. So say an example, Red Hat. Red Hat made the changes and he is going to sell it to someone. And the other the company who is purchasing that, they're saying, no, how can we purchase you? Do you have authority to sell it? So what GPL is saying, you can see the open source, you can change the open source, but if you make any changes, you can come back to me and then I will approve it. Okay, so Red Hat made the changes and they come back to GPL by saying that we have made that change, and GPL is saying, okay, this is approved, but you cannot sell it. It should be free of cost and it should be open source. Now, whatever Red Hat or other distributor was thinking that we need to sell it on our brand name, now they cannot. So what Red Hat said, okay, my changes are get approved. Okay, let me go to the companies, to my customers, and he's saying that, see, this is approved by GPL. Then companies has a kind of a proof by, okay, this is approved by GPL. Now they said, okay, we will purchase your software, but it is free of cost. Okay, free of cost is fine. Now they need some support. For that support, GPL is not stopping that. They are saying, if you need my software, this software should be free of cost and open source, you cannot sell it, but they are not restricting to the support. So the customers of Red Hat, now Red Hat, what it did, it is adding one cap, Red Hat cap, right? You can see in the Red Hat operating system. So they have a Red Hat logo, and that logo, with that logo, they are saying, okay, we are using this logo because it is little different from the normal operating system. For logo they are charging, and for the support they are charging, and they are earning in that way. Same way with the others. So now the most popular one operating system is Red Hat and Ubuntu. Any doubt, any question, guys? Kiran, Venkatesh?
No.
Okay. Okay. So uh, let me tell you how to start the Linux box on AWS machine. For that, you need to click on the services. Under compute category, you will find EC2. Okay. So we will click on that. And here you need to choose the region. So that can be whatever nearest to you. So say an example, you are in US, then you have to select US and Virginia or Ohio. Okay, California. I'm in India, so I'm selecting Asia Pacific. This region is basically depends that which some of the services are not available in some of the region, but EC2 service is available in all the regions. So because um, we are not going into detail of AWS services, we are just concentrating on the EC2. So it is available in all the regions. So I'm selecting Asia Pacific, Mumbai. Okay. Now you can automatically, the page which is open, uh, it is the EC2 dashboard. So here you can see running instances. So you can click on it.
Hey Raman, I
Yeah,
have a doubt.
yeah.
Are we going to you are going to explain AWS also, or else how it is? Now
See,
you are showing the instances, but you are going into deep in this AWS, or else?
no, no. Actually, this is as I told you in the beginning, we will use the Linux operating system in throughout the course. So there are
Okay.
different ways that you can use the Linux operating system. One way is that you install virtual machine on your system and
Mm-hmm.
install the Linux operating system on it. Second way
Okay.
is that you install Linux operating system on your machine and uh, and use that dual operating boot system and select your Linux operating system and work on it. And third is with the cloud computing, like you can use AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud, or anyone which is free of cost. But other accounts, I think Google is 1 year, Azure is only for 1 month, it is free, and AWS is also 1 year free. So AWS is mostly most of the companies they are using AWS. So that's why what I will do, I will create an instance of Linux on this AWS. So we will only concentrate on the EC2 part. We will not go in detail of the other services of the AWS.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So in my case, I have already one machine. So this machine, see, you have to select. So this is after once you create the machine, but in the beginning you will not find any machine here. So there are different actions which I want to show. So you have to select your machine and you will see instance state. You can start it. Once it is started, you can stop it. and there is a hibernate mode, right? Which I think everyone knows, wherever it is stopped, it should be started from there. You want to reboot it, and you want to terminate means you want to remove this machine. You don't want to use. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to terminate this. Terminate this means this machine I cannot use further. So every machine will have a IP address, global IP address, which I can use with the putty. Okay, so one more thing that, okay, so now I want to create a new instance of the Linux. So you need to click on the launch instance. Okay, so click on this, and that option you can find it into the EC2 dashboard as well. Okay, so here
Sir,
when I, yeah,
Yes. Sir, what is the full form of EC2
that is
mean?
elastic computing something. So this is elastic. They had given this name because you know uh, how much you are using. So you are paying for that. And
Oh,
so EC2 actually mostly EC2, if we give 1 second, I can tell you EC2
EC2 is Elastic Cloud Compute, right?
cloud computing. Yes, yes. So yes, so elastic compute cloud. Yeah. Okay. So once you click on the launch instance, so it gives you the option what type of machines you want to use. So here you can see free tier eligible, means you can use for the free tier account. Okay, all these are free tier, free tier. Okay, so you can create Windows operating system as well, but we are not going to create Windows. And but these are not free. This is free, which is Windows Server 1809 with containers, right? Windows 2016. So these all are free of cost. You can use it. You can install your softwares on it. So Amazon also has a Linux distribution. So for now, I'm using the Red Hat. So I'm selecting this option, Red Hat, and I'm clicking on and I will use 64-bit. I think no need to explain 64-bit and 32-bit, right? So this is basically the type of the operating system. Mostly these days is 64-bit. Okay, now here you again to be very careful what option you are selecting. So you see this T2 micro, which is free tier eligible. So I'm selecting this option and I'm clicking on the next configure the instance detail. Okay, how many instances you want to run? It is one. And no need to worry about rest of the things. We will keep as it is because this is VPC subnet mask. This is automatically some IP addresses will be created for that, and it is under some VPC. VPC is nothing but the virtual private cloud, and virtual private cloud is in the networking domain where we have multiple computers which are linked together. Okay, so as of now, I'm selecting whatever the default options are there, and I'm clicking on the add storage. Okay, now there is a root volume, and this is your device. In Linux, it is little different as compared to Windows operating system. In Windows operating system, we have the C drive, D drive, and like that. But here it is something a file system where you have a root directory. Under root directory you have different directories, and these different directories has a different meaning. Like in this case you can see this slash. This slash indicates this is a root directory. Under root directory we have a dev directory, and dev directory is basically for the devices, and SDA1 is one of the directory where this storage will get created, and it will be of 10 GB space, means total size, and rest of the things means throughput and why you want to use for the general purpose. So I'm just taking all these options default. Now click on next. So here it is basically something for your operating system or for your instance. You want to give some tag names. Tag names will be helpful to identify your instance. So we are creating one instance, but it can be possible in real life. Those who are using EC2 instances, they can create multiple instances. So to differentiate these instances, we use the tag. So I'm clicking on add tag. So I'm giving the name. So name indicates that uh, what name you want to give to your instance. So I'm saying uh, DevOps Red Hat. So just it will be my instance name. So by seeing that, I can identify, okay, this is this instance I'm using for this purpose. Next is the security group. Security group is nothing but what are the ports which is to be opened, what are the things you want to use. Say an example, I'm using Oracle on Linux box. So when I'm using Oracle, I need to open a port 1521. And if I'm using, say an example, some Apache web server, then I need to open port 80. And by default, there is a port 22 is to be opened, which is for the SSH. So SSH is nothing but, say an example, I'm using my Windows machine and I want to connect to this Linux instance. So there should be a port open from my machine so that I can access this AWS instance. That is 22 port. Okay. So if you want to use the uh, Apache web server or some other web servers, so then I can add the rule. So I am saying I want to use the HTTP, HTTPS. For HTTPS is basically the encrypted one where 443 port is to be opened. So I'm using HTTP one extra. So in future, what we will do, we will use the uh, we will deploy some web application. So for that, I'm using HTTP. Okay, and next, review and launch. Now you can review it. Okay, the things which you have opened. Okay, I think HTTP port was also open, so it is open to two times, no problem. This is storage, which is 10 GB, and these are the tags which I have created, which is name, and I click on launch. Okay, so when you launch, basically what you need to do, this is very secured one. AWS account is very secured one. So there is a public and private keys is to be created to shake hand with your system and AWS. So for that, you need to create the account. You need to create the key pair. So I'm saying create a new pair. Okay. So once you create a new pair, you need to give that name. So I'm saying DevOps uh, keys. You can give any name. It is not. It is means you can give whatever the name. I'm just giving some meaningful name for this. Okay. So I click on download key pair. So it is, you can see it is downloaded with the DevOps keys.pem is the extension. Okay. So that's it. And now I click on the launch instances. You need to remember this key name, or you can keep this file into uh, certain area, means on your system, and click on launch instances. Okay. So here you can click on the view instances. So this is my the one which I terminated. Now this is the new one is getting created. See the tag name I had given DevOps Red Hat, and it is in the pending state. So there are different state: pending, terminate, running, stopped. Okay, so currently it is pending, means it is getting built. So once it get built, all these values which is showing downside, it is to be it is automatically get filled. Okay, so now if I click on this, see, this is the IP address. And see, I'm explaining you, so it takes time. But if you are become expert, within 5 minutes or even less than 5 minutes, you can create a Linux box on this virtual machine, on this AWS cloud, right? So it is very fast. And whenever if you don't want to use it, just click on this and say instance stop. Any doubt, any question up till here?
Uh, Sir, I was creating and I got one message here.
Okay, what is that message? Hello?
Yeah, it says improve your instances security. Your security group launch wizard one is open to the world.
When you are creating the account at that time, you are saying?
No, no. I after security groups, I clicked on launch. At that time, I'm getting it.
Okay, so when in the security group, you have selected HTTP and all this, right? So does it?
I selected SSH.
Mm-hmm.
That's
That's it. Okay. Yeah, click on next, and if it says some message, say okay. So I think it will move to the next page. There may be
okay.
so that is fine.
Yeah.
We need it for the public one because what it is saying, it is for the public, means anyone who has this key and who has this uh, IP address, they can use it. Okay, so that is fine. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Nah, I could surpass that step now.
Yes. Yes.
Now,
Okay. Okay. So now next step is that you have to download a SSH client. So what is SSH client? See, if there is a Linux box, you cannot go to that server, and Linux box is some machine, right? So means if we don't talk about cloud computing in real world, if there is a box which where the Linux server is installed, now administrator wants to work on it or some developer wants to work on it, so he has to connect his monitor and keyboard to that particular Linux box. That is not feasible. And Linux operating system is the multi-user, means at a time multiple user can work on it. So what we need a SSH client. With the SSH client, we can means anyone can connect to the Linux box. So for that, there are different softwares. So the most popular one is the Putty. So you need to install Putty. So you just write download Putty. Any one of you is using any other operating system apart from Windows?
yeah, I'm using Mac.
You're using Mac. Okay, okay. So the steps will be same. So you can download Putty. Okay, and once it is there, there is first option download Putty. Okay, and you need to click here. So I have already installed this. So it will be very simple steps. Next, it's a wizard, and you can install it. Okay. Now the tricky part, which uh, you need to know. There will be two options get created. once your putty is properly installed, okay, there will be two options get created. One is the putty gen and one is the putty desktop application. So first you need to select the putty gen. So putty gen is the key generator, so which we will use to because we have downloaded one key, and on the basis of that key we are going to uh, launch our instance. So I'm selecting that, okay, and there is an option generate a public and private key that we are not selecting. We are clicking on the load because we already have a key. So I'm clicking on load. Okay, I will go to my DevOps key. So this is the key which I downloaded when I selected the create new key for that instance. So I'm selecting that. Okay, and I click on open. Okay, so this key is some encrypted key, right, for the secure network. And then I need to click on the save private key. Okay, so it says, are you sure you want to save the key without passphrase to protect it? So this is fine. I say yes. Okay, now here you need to create one more key, which is the private key. PPK is the extension. So I'm giving the same. You can give different name also, but I'm giving the same name. I'm saying DevOps keys save. Okay, so now it is saved, and now I will close this. Okay, so first load your PEM key, and once it is loaded, then click on the save private key, and then it will be saved as a private key, and then close it. Now you need to go to your putty. Actually, you need to watch this video because you may miss some step, but you need to watch it one or two times, then you will know that how to do this. Then go to the SSH option in the putty, and there you will find authorizations, and here you will get a option private key for authentication, and this is the private key for the um, for my putty to connect to the SSH server, which is nothing but my instance. So I'm clicking on browse. Okay, and I will select my PPK, not PEM, PPK value. Okay, I select this. Then I go to the session. Here I need to give the IP address. So this is my IP address. So this is my instance. You have to select it. And down you can see public IP address. So you click on this, it will copy it. And then I will go to my putty. I will click on this. Okay. And if you want to save, you can save it, or you want to type all the time, then you can say open. Okay, so after that you will get this alert. uh, this is not cached, this key is not cached, you want to cache it. I say yes. So here it will ask the login to connect to the my EC2 instance. So the default user which you need to use for EC2 instance is EC2-user. For if you are using Ubuntu machine, then login is the Ubuntu, and when you click on enter the username, it will not ask for the password because this is the user which is as an admin. So we will talk about what is admin user and other users. So now I am here, I am connected to this machine, my AWS machine. Any doubt, any question, guys? Venkatesh,
No.
Kiran?
Yeah, I don't have anything.
Yeah.
Thanks. I'm just trying to create an AWS account. I created. We have to select the basic plan, right? Free
Yes,
plan.
basic.
Yeah, I did. I just did that.
Okay. And Kranti, do you have any question?
No.
Okay. Jia?
Sir, Mac will have terminal. I still have to use putty.
No, terminal is different. Terminal is, yes, you need to have the putty to install.
Okay.
Okay, I think you will find that DMG is the extension for this packages, right, in the Mac.
Yeah. Yes, sir. I
You will.
downloaded.
So once you download it, then rest of the steps are same.
So Raman, I'm trying to create a Linux virtual machine. So which one you have selected? Like
Red Hat,
the Red Hat?
Red Hat freeware. That free tier eligible. There will be one option.
Yeah, Red Hat Linux 7.6. Is that the version?
Yes. So that
Yeah,
we
that
can.
free tier.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So actually, I want to stop it here for today, and rest of the thing we will continue tomorrow. Okay. So once you do it, don't forget to stop this. So I'm just closing this my putty version, as well as I'm just clicking on this and stopping this, because otherwise it will be keep running. Okay, I don't want to exceed the limit of my free tier, so I'm stopping. If I'm not using, I'm stopping it. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. See you guys tomorrow then. Bye bye.
Sir,
Yeah.
can ask question? This is regarding the timing, sir. So every day at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have this class for 1 hour.
Yes. Yes.
And over weekends, sir?
Weekend,
How about
I'm fine if you want to connect. If
yeah,
every-
yeah.
Okay, I got a confirmation.
Sorry, I did not hear that, sir. We have
Yeah, yeah. So means everyone is fine, then I'm also fine. So Venkatesh, anyone has any objection on weekend class?
no, sir. I
Don't have anything.
Yeah. Yeah. What is the morning timing? I did not get. What is the exact
Morning time is India time. It is 6:45, or
Okay.
so those who are on the different time zone, then there maybe daylight time will change soon, right? So, but it will be
Yes.
same time all the time, means 6:45 India time. Okay.
Okay. Fine. Fine.
Okay, guys. We will meet tomorrow same time. Bye bye.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Bye.
sir, are you still there?
Yeah, yeah. Tell me.
Sir, I forgot to ask you about recording, sir, because
Recording, you
Putty.
will get it. You will get it. That my
Uh,
managed people will send it to you.
okay, okay,
Okay.
okay, okay. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.